I want to share something with you that changed my life. And I want to break it down and explain it in a way that everybody can understand. But what I want you to know is that you have to learn to love yourself. You have to learn to have some sort of self worth and some self respect and be able to upkeep those things because it will positively impact your life. Now, for some reason, instinctively, we compare ourselves to other people. We compare ourselves to people that have things that we want, that we desire, and we make these competitions with other people instead of worrying about ourselves and comparing ourselves to ourselves. You're only in competition with yourself. Don't worry about what somebody else have. You have to be grateful for what you have. Because there's 1,001 people who would trade and beg to be in your situation. Through the good, bad, and the ugly, it could always be worse. So appreciate what you do have, even the bad things, because there's lessons to learn from them, from those things. But I think a lot of the times we focus on the bad things in life. We find ways to be upset. We find reasons for our life to be bad. We find reasons for our situations to be undesirable. Instead of trying to find the good in things, instead of trying to find the silver lining. Now, that does not mean that you have to invalidate your feelings or that the way you feel doesn't matter. That's not what it means. But there's always something good you can pull from these situations. But like I said, we're going to get back to self. Instead of comparing yourself to other people, compare yourself to yourself. Think about what you do on a day-to-day basis. Think about the goals you have in life. If you don't have goals, just keep trying things and eventually you'll figure out what you want to do in life. But think about what you do on a day-to-day. Maybe you went to the gym, maybe you skipped the gym, maybe you practice music, maybe you skip practicing music, maybe you didn't wash your face and clean up, maybe you did. Think about what you do and what you don't do. Think about what you can control and what you can do to be better for you. Not based on what somebody else thinks, not based on what somebody else is doing. You can get motivation from people, you can be inspired by people, but make decisions because of you. Control what you can control. Be in a competition with yourself. Be better than you were yesterday. Be 1% better. If you didn't make your bed yesterday, make your bed. Count those small wins. Do whatever it takes for you to be better than you were yesterday. There's going to be highs and lows. That's just the way life is. But when you're comparing yourself to yourself, it's a very healthy thing. When you're comparing yourself to other people, you don't really know it. It comes from a place of ignorance. A lot of people tell me, oh man, you're so lucky. You're living a dream. You don't have to worry about anything. You just turn on the camera and you have no worries. Really. I'm still living, I'm still breathing, I'm still going through things. There's still things that run through my mind, and I have more to worry about now than I did when I didn't have all of this. I have to maintain all of this. I have to edit and I have to do all these things, covering my own tracks because I'm not working for somebody. I have all those responsibilities. So it's ignorant for somebody to tell you or for you to think that people don't have to worry about certain things or that people are lucky. You might see somebody driving down the road in your dream car. It's like, oh man, they're so lucky. They have it all. And that person might have thought about killing themselves that morning. That person might be on the way to killing themselves. But you're so ignorant, you don't think about it that way. You see somebody that has something you want and you completely knock out all the negative that they probably went through. Oh, they so lucky to get to the NBA, but you didn't see how this person was raised by a single mother and had to grind coming up from the slums, jumping out of foster home to get where he wanted to be and finally get to the pinnacle of his dreams. Nobody sees that because we think from a place of ignorance. We don't know. And we don't care to know because it's some sort of instinct that we have to just compare ourselves to people. And one thing I realized about comparing myself to people was that it took away the power that I have for myself. Think about it like this. If you spend X amount of time, X amount of mental points or energy comparing yourself to other people, what are you doing for you? What are you doing with that energy? When I didn't have the things I wanted in life, it was because I had too much time to care about what everybody else was doing. Oh, they barely doing this and they blowing up on social media, or oh, they got lucky because they had a chance to do this. Instead of doing work, I was worried about that. I was taking time out of my day, taking time out of my life to worry about what other people had going on. Instead of working on my craft, instead of worrying about me. So the big change was when I stopped worrying about what other people was doing, when I stopped worrying about other people being lucky and getting special privilege and this and this and that, my life changed because I took all that energy and put it into myself. I stopped blaming people for my situation. I stopped worrying about how lucky people was and what they had. I worried about what I had. I was grateful for what I had. I appreciated my situation, good, bad, and ugly, because it taught me what I needed. And I'm not those people. You're not other people. You are you. Nobody thinks the way you do, like you do. Nobody feels the way you do, like you do, because you're you. Everybody has a unique experience. So stop trying to live your life through other people's lenses. Stop trying to live your life through another meat suit, because you got one. Sorry to tell you, whatever it looks like, who cares? You're ugly, says who? Compared to who? It's always going to be some sort of comparison. Now, that don't mean that comparison is not necessary in some ways of life. It's logistical. But really think about why you think about things. Oh, I don't like my voice. Compared to whose voice? I get that a lot. Oh man, I wish you had your voice. You're lucky to have your voice. I used to hate my voice. I used to hate my face. I used to hate my eyes. I used to hate my hair. I used to hate my skin. But I learned to love myself. I learned to find some sort of worth in myself. And it made other people validate that. I don't thrive off that validation though, because that's toxic. You start to compare yourself to the other perceptions that people have on you. And that can stop you from being great. That's why I don't like compliments, right? I love to hear about myself. I love to, see that people appreciate me. But after a while, it gets uncomfortable because people start to compare themselves to you. Oh man, I wish I had what you had. Oh man, I wish I was in your situation. No, you don't. You don't know me, and I don't know you. So stop thinking from that perspective. It's toxic. It does nothing good for you. And correct me if I'm wrong. Think about it. Think about all the times you compared yourself to people. Think about all the times you judge yourself from the lens of somebody else. Think about all the times you thought your dreams weren't good enough because somebody else couldn't see it, because you was trying to compare your life to the perception of somebody else's. Think about how much that has harmed you mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever. Or correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me how much that has benefited you. You tell me. It didn't benefit me. I sat back and I thought about it. I thought about the decisions I made. I thought about the things I thought. And I wondered what things in my life made my life better. When I thought about what people thought, when I compared myself to other people, and I thought about the things I didn't have, my life, it wasn't the best. But when I worried about my approval over anybody's, and I lived my life for me, and I compared myself only to me, and I was only in competition with myself, my life began to get better. Instead of worrying about other people and what they had going on, I worried about everything that I could do to make my situation better. Of course, some people are a little luckier in this life. Some people are born into a rich family. Some people have more connections than we do. But that's an excuse for you to stay in the same situation that you're in. It just explains why they are the way they are. You have to be you, because that's who you are and that's how you are. Nothing else. Be yourself. We were put on this earth to be ourselves. That's why it's important for you to be in competition with yourself. And if you think it's all just a one-sided thing, comparing yourself can blow your head up too big too. It can get you way too far in the sky, where it get a little hard to breathe up there. Head to get real big. You start comparing yourself, oh, I'm better than them, and I can get away with doing half of what they do. You keep doing that. Because I guarantee you, if you think you're too good for somebody or something, and you keep giving 50%, that 80% that they keep giving, that 100% they keep giving, it's going to come get you. I know you should be familiar with the hare and the rabbit, or the tortoise, right? The tortoise and the hare. The hare is fast. It took off real fast, got his head big. Oh, I'm beating the tortoise. I'm going to just sleep by the finish line, because the tortoise will never catch up. He's so slow. So he just sat under a tree and he took a nap, right? But what did that tortoise do? He kept going slowly and surely, to the point where he seen the hare right there, but he didn't wake him up, because slow and steady, he just kept going. And then the hare finally woke up. He said, you know what? I might as well go ahead and cross this finish line. Guess who he met at the finish line? The tortoise. Because guess what the tortoise kept doing? He kept working. Slow and steady wins the race. The tortoise knew what he was in for. He knew he couldn't run with the hare, but he kept going anyway, because you have to go through life at your own pace. Maybe you're 20, 21, 22, 25, 30, whatever. You might not have what other 21-year-olds have. You may not have what other people your age have. That's not meant for you right now. You worry about what you have. Be grateful for what you have. Because like I said, I guarantee it's somebody out there that will want your life. And I guarantee you this, not all the time, right? Don't ever take things to the extreme. Don't think if your life is crazy terrible that somebody else will want it and trade it. Just listen, right? Just listen. Let's be real humans here. I can assure you, if somebody else had the life that you had the things that you had, learned the lessons that you had, I guarantee you would be jealous of you if you weren't you. That's just how toxic the world is. And if you don't think so, it's because you're thinking from inside of you. Because you know you better than anybody. But you don't know the other person that you don't want to be. You don't know the other person that you want to be. You know who you are. That's why it feels that way. Even if you can't see it that way, that's why it feels that way. If I told you, take yourself, put it into another person, I guarantee you would be jealous of them. You'd be like, nah, because I know me and this is what I go through and this is how my life is. Yeah, because you know you. That's why I said comparison is ignorance. You don't know these people. These people don't know you. So stop comparing yourself. You're stealing your joy. You're stealing your happiness. You're stealing your success because you're using energy on things that are toxic. So, to wrap this up, to give you some sort of direction, the things I like to do on a daily basis that help me get to this point. When it comes to negative thoughts, I like to think about where these thoughts come from. Oh, you're no good. You're ugly. Your nose sucks. All these things. I like to think about where these thoughts come from. My insecurities were given to me by insecure people. If y'all don't know the story, I used to hate my nose. I used to hate my skin. I used to hate my hair. I used to hate the way I looked. I hated everything. I wanted different parents because I hated the way I looked. Why? Because people used to make fun of me. But what I didn't know is most of the people that made fun of me wanted what I had. They wanted my hair. They wanted my skin. They wanted my nose. They wanted my eyes. And they wanted me to feel miserable about those things to make them feel better for the fact that they didn't have what I had. So my insecurities were given to me by another person that was insecure about themselves. Think about how toxic that is. We feel bad about ourselves because of what people said that feel bad about themselves. And they're attempting to make us feel bad about ourselves because they feel bad about themselves. When you start to break things down to the last molecule, things start to make sense. Or they show you how much sense they don't make. It shows you how stupid we can be, how ignorant we can be, how caught up in the whirlwind we can be. I think about all my negative thoughts and where they come from. Shimon, you're not good enough. Says who? I said it, Shimon said it. You could be better. Well, then that's valid because I can be better. When I go to compare myself to a YouTuber who's been doing this for 13 years or the YouTuber that's been doing this for 2 years and I haven't started, you got to stop and compete with you. So write it down. Take a picture of who you are today and write it down. Take a picture of who you want to be and you be that. You be in competition with that every day. If that means you need to get off of social media and take a break, do that. That means you need to stop talking to certain people, do that. Spend some time with yourself, get to know yourself, get to know who you want to be and become that. Because you can. But I guarantee you, if you keep comparing yourself to people, if you keep putting yourself down because of other people, your life's not going to get better. You can get a brand new car, but you're mad because Ray Ray from 12th grade got a Mustang instead of a Toyota Camry. But what they didn't tell you is that Camry will last you a lot longer than Ray Ray's Mustang will. Because Ray Ray drive like a bat out of hell, and that Mustang is not reliable as that Camry. They don't tell you that though. One day people will understand. One day they will teach these things in school because these are the things that are important. It's a reason why they don't drill these things into our head from an early age, because they want us to have these quarter life crises, these midlife crises, and all these things, because they can profit off these things. Our insecurities are valuable to the insecure, to the people that want power, to the people that want to feel better about themselves, feel better about their lives. So take control of your life. Be who you want to be for you, not anybody else. It starts with you. Because as I say, when it's over, when it's time for you to die, you're dying. Not them, not the thoughts and opinions of other people. You're gone. So live delayed, live delayed. So live the way you want to. Live life as if it could end tomorrow. And live it in a way that you can be proud of. So I hope that helped you. I hope this pointed you in a direction where you can take control of your life, where you can stop making your life so miserable, where you can find a frame of mind that you can grow from instead of destroy yourself. So that's all I have to say for today. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I hope the voice wasn't too rugged. I got like a little cold or something. Had a fever. Got congestion. But hey, we doing what we got to do. So y'all take care of yourselves and let's get out of here. I love y'all. Be great. Don't forget what I said. Comparison is a thief of joy. Don't let nobody steal your joy, including yourself.